Say it could cause a riot. The truth gon' be heard, I won't be quiet. This a black and brown to rise. Worse than the flu and coronavirus. They put us in chains, left us survive. Last 500 years been so one-sided. My nigga.
You heard about it? What you think about it, brother? You believe it's true? Or you got some discrepancies? What?
I understand. I got a question.
What's your question, bro? We out here.
Alright. So y'all the true descendants of Abraham.
That's what we do.
So I believe y'all the true descendants of Abraham, right? But y'all been the true descendants of Abraham. How do y'all perceive everybody else? You see what I'm saying? So if you're an Israelite, you come from Israel?
Basically, yeah. We come from that's our ancestors.
That's our ancestors. So how you from?
How do we perceive the other nations?
Yeah, how do y'all perceive the other nations?
Okay. Okay. So basically you're asking me, what you're saying is that, okay, so with us being Israelites, how do we look at the other nations?
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, when you deal with the Bible, you deal with the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, what the whole world is not understanding, matter of fact, go to Jeremiah 16 and 19. What the whole world don't understand is that with us being the Israelites, because there's been lies, and you already know, there's lies already out in the earth and stuff like that. There's lies in the earth. So we're going to read this and then I'm going to go into something.
Jeremiah 16:19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth.
So the Gentiles, because when you deal with other nations, like you said, the other nations, when you deal with them, the Gentiles shall come unto thee. And what's going to happen?
And shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
So surely our fathers have inherited lies. Now, go to Psalms 82 and 6. So the Gentiles are going to come unto thee. They're going to be like, surely our fathers inherited lies. Because see, ultimately, like I said, they already think like, okay, the people that's over there in Israel, those are the real Jews. So when you don't think that the world thinks that?
Oh, no, I ain't talking about the word. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm
talking
about to get to what you're talking about.
You know, because.
What do you believe in?
I ain't poison. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and my Savior.
Okay, cool. But I get what you're saying. But I'm saying when you deal like with the world, majority of the people think that the people over there in Israel are the real people. You might not think that. We might not think that. But when you deal with the whole world, they have put on lies. And what the Bible is saying is that they're going to come unto the Gentiles are going to come and they're going to be like, hey, our fathers told us lies. Why? Because ultimately one of the biggest lies is that we're the Israelites. Now, the way we perceive other nations, let's look at how we're looked at in the Bible.
Psalms 82 and 6. I have said, ye are God.
So the Bible said what? Ye are gods. So that's one thing when you deal with this, when you deal with this word, it's dealing with Elohim. And all it really just means is a power. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at you, when I look at you as a brother, because this is talking about the Israelites, ye are a God. So when we look at the other nations, we look at them as basically. Because no other scripture do you see that the Gentiles are seen as like greater than that. No other nation. Now my question is to you: do you know how God sees the Gentiles?
How God sees the Gentiles.
Second Ezra 6, we're going to start at 52.
How do you think God sees the Gentiles? You know?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
You want to hear it?
Go ahead, tell me.
Because look, to be honest with you, when you deal with it, matter of fact, let me give you some history too. So let's deal with, you ever heard about the Maccabees? Okay, you heard about the Maccabees. So you heard about Antiochus, right? So when you deal with Antiochus, when you go back in that time, there was this dude, he was like a historian. His name was Dorius, right? When you deal with Dorius, so he wrote in like, I think it was like his book, he had wrote about Antiochus Epiphanes. You see what I'm saying?
That's the part of the Bible that's not in the Bible.
Yeah, the Apocrypha, when they try to sit up there and take it.
That's not the part of the Bible that's in the Bible. It's a book, but it's not.
You're talking about the hidden books, the Apocrypha. What they trying to take out. But see, this is the thing. They're trying to sit up there and say, oh, that's not the Bible. But see, it's in the ancient manuscripts. You know it's in the ancient manuscripts, right?
Yeah.
It's been there. And they just trying to take it out, not like, about a couple hundred years ago.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So a white man come and sit up there and tell us how we gonna operate our book. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying about when you deal with the Dories, what he was saying about Antiochus.
So what Bible are you reading from?
Oh, what Bible we've been reading? Oh,
Yeah.
we're reading 1611, where it has all 80 books.
All 80 books.
It has all 80 books.
Okay.
We read the 16. So we read the 1611 KJV. It has all 80 books.
The King James version, right?
You can read it. We go through the King James, and then we do different
You know,
translations.
because how I feel, right? You know what I mean? I feel like everything that's written is written through what? Through man. Through man. So you can take this Bible, this Bible, this Bible, this Bible, and this Bible, and they all got different words.
So
But the same meaning, but different words. So it might say, okay, sin not against thee. Ye sin not. So now you sitting there, you know what I mean? Like you sitting there now, you're trying to figure out what do I do?
I see what you're saying. Can I answer that?
Yeah, sure.
All praise, all praise.
Go
So
ahead.
basically, the whole purpose of that, like, there's many translations.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? There's many translations, and the reason why there's translations because one brother might not be able to understand the KJV, the old English like that.
Okay.
So what they got is, they got different translations so you can understand it. But the main thing is, if you don't want to sit up there and look at the translation, go back to the ancient manuscript. Go back to the Masoretic text. Go back to the Greek Septuagint. You see what I'm saying? Go back to these different ancient manuscripts to be able to look and see what the original said. You see what I'm saying? That's the main thing you should be looking at if you don't want to look at the translation.
So we are all one.
As a people,
We are all one.
we talk about us and everybody.
Everybody, we are
Okay,
all
perfect,
one.
perfect. That's perfect that you said that. That's the perfect cue. Because remember when I asked you about how God look at all the other nations. Now let's see what God said.
So this is 2nd Ezra 6 and 54
Second
through
who?
2nd Ezra
6.
chapter 6 verse
54.
54 through 56.
If you want me, I can type it in for you. You can follow.
What I'm trying to do is, I like to do my own homework.
Yeah, do your homework.
You know what I mean?
But we're
Because
going to show you.
yeah, people go ahead. You know what I mean?
We want you to do your homework.
But
We don't want you just to believe
You
shit.
know how I feel? I feel like you can give me one scripture, right? Somebody can read one scripture, but it's something before that. It's something before that. It's something after that, and it's something after that. Cause see, you just can't understand if you just read one scripture.
Yeah, that's why you got to read the context. You get what you're saying.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But we want you to actually, you can go through that whole book. We want you to see this. We want you to see these scriptures, and then you can, formulate it how you want to formulate it within that. We're about to read this.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse starting at 54.
Read it loud.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of thy creatures, of him come we all.
So of Adam, we all come. Like you said, we all one, right? Of Adam, we all come from Adam, right? Now watch this.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Now, the people whom thou hast chosen. You know who God chose, right?
Right.
He chose the Israelites,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay. So we got everybody coming from Adam, and also the people who God has chosen.
Right.
They're separate, right?
Right.
Okay, let's get it.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee,
So everything was spoken before this.
O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
So the whole world was created for the sake of the Israelites, but let's see what happens.
Verse 56.
Uh-huh.
As for the other people.
So the people that are not chosen, which is the other nations, let's see what God feels about them.
Which also come of Adam.
Uh-huh.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
Hold up. They are nothing. Thou hast said that they are nothing,
But be like unto spittle.
but they're like spittle. How you feel about that? That's cold, man. What's up, bro? How you doing, sir? What you think about it?
Different. So, one question I got for you, right?
Well, hold up. Before you ask
Go ahead. I want you to go ahead. Explain that to me real quick.
So
Explain that to me. What is he saying?
So basically what he was saying was,
You're not an Israelite.
no, basically what he was saying is that we chose. There was the people that he chose. So we all come from Adam. There was the people that was chosen, and then there was the other people that came from Adam too.
Right.
Now he said he made the world for our sake, which is the Israelites. He made the world because ultimately when you deal with what's going to happen, we're going to go back into rulership. You know what I'm saying? The first should be last, and the last should be first. We're going to go back into rulership when it's all said and done. But if you get to that last verse, he said, he was sitting up there saying, but the other people, he's talking about the other people, the other nations, thou has said that they are nothing. Like, compared to us, they're nothing. They're nowhere near on our level. They're nothing. And it's clear that you can even see that in today's world. Like, when you look at us, look at the things that we do. Look at the trends we start. Look how everybody follows and flocks to us. We're, even in our low state, everybody flocks to us. And there's no comparison. But he said, thou art nothing. And he said, he compares them to, that's like spit. That's how he's comparing them to us. And that's how he's looking at them as like spit. That's how God looks at the other nations. Now, you might say, well, why would God create them then if he's going to look at them like that? No, matter of fact, I'm going to just break it down. You might say, why would God create them if he's just going to look at them like they just like spit? Well, I mean, look, that's just like anything you create. You might sit up there and create something, and you might like this better than you like what you know. You might like this pencil better than you like this pen. You know what I'm saying? And this pen might not work as good. It might not be as good. But you know, whether you create it or not, it's a simple fact. You choose what you want. You know, and that's just how the Most High chose.
Let me ask you a question. So how you feel about what's going on right now in Haiti?
Talking about over there with Israel. Okay, perfect.
That's
what we're gonna talk about.
Because that's a part of it, right?
Yeah, let's get it.
Right.
First and foremost, I'm gonna show. Matter of fact, go to Isaiah chapter 2. Isaiah chapter 2. I'm gonna show you. So when you deal with Isaiah chapter 2, the beginning it goes into end time prophecy. You can read this for yourself. I want you to read this for yourself. But I want to show you something. We're talking about the Israelites. We basically teaching the Bible. We're waking our people up to the black Hispanics and we're the Israelites. God showed the people. Got to come back to the commandments. That's what we got to teach. We're actually about to talk about everything that's going on over there in Israel. So let's get to it. So first and foremost, when you deal with what's happening in Israel, first and foremost, the people that's in the land, they shouldn't even be over there.
See what?
The people that's in the land, they shouldn't even be over there.
What? They shouldn't be over there.
They shouldn't be over there.
Why they shouldn't be over
I'm
there?
going to show you why. Let's get it.
Come on, all right.
We're here, brother. We're here, brother. Let's get it.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's get it. Let's get it.
Don't read the scripture.
Let's read it. Two from the top.
Isaiah 2 from the top.
Uh-huh.
The word that Isaiah, the son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Judah and Jerusalem, let's get it.
Verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days.
So, hold up. The key point is the last days, right? Let's see. Let's get it.
That the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
So when you deal with mountains, majority of the time when you deal with mountains in the Bible, it's dealing with like rulership and different things like that. Rulership. So the Lord's rulership is going to be above every other nation when you deal with this in this end time. You know what I'm saying? So this is like dealing with like end time connotation and stuff like that.
And shall be exalted above the hills.
So it's going to be exalted above the hills when you deal with the Lord's kingdom. It's dealing with the Lord's kingdom. Let's continue.
And all nations shall flow unto it.
All nations are going to flow into this kingdom. You see what I'm saying? They're going to all flow into it. Continue.
Verse 3. And many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord.
So it's going to be many people that sit up there like, hey, let's go up to the mountain of the Lord, man. Like, let's go up to the mountain of the Lord. Many people won't say that. But continue.
To the house of God,
The house of God.
of Jacob. And
Hold on. The house of God, the God of Jacob. So they're going to be saying, hey, let us go up to this house, but it's the house of God. It's the God of Jacob. This is God. When you deal with the God of Jacob, you're dealing with the God of the Israelites. They already gonna know this is the Israelites' God. You see what I'm saying? But there's gonna come a time when you deal with everything, when you deal with all prophecy and stuff like that. The other nations, at the end of the day, everything gonna go back to how it once was. You know, the nations, they still gonna, the nations they're gonna be in their own land, still doing what they do. But ultimately they're gonna still have to, look at the Most High as the ultimate. The ultimate.
I don't mean to cut you off. Is that a real picture right there?
Which one? This? Oh yeah. They was really doing it. Hit the nigger thing. That little game that they be playing at the carnival, that really happened. It really did. That's real, bro. That really happened. Hey, before you get your question, hold your question. You want to read this? Because I want to show you I want to answer what I told you.
And he will teach us of his ways.
He gonna teach him his
And
ways.
we will walk in his paths.
So we're gonna walk in his path. So this is dealing with the kingdom. They're gonna want to walk in the path of our God. Continue.
For out of Zion shall go forth the law.
So the legislation in the kingdom is going to be the laws of God. Just like we got legislation here, that's going to be the legislation in the kingdom, which is the laws of God. Let's continue.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people.
He's going to rebuke. There's going to be many people getting rebuked.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up sword against nation.
Hold on. Nations, in this place of the kingdom, nations are not going to be lifting up sword against sword. So if they're the Israelites and they're in the land, why the hell is war going on? How can they be the people?
All right. Now you ask me the question. Now I got the answer for you. All right. They've been fighting for over 75 years.
But this
They've been,
I'll let you go.
So you got that. Why is they in the land? Tell me why they in the land. I want you to tell me why they in the land.
I'm gonna tell you. Go to first and foremost.
Tell me why they in the land.
I'm gonna go to you.
Yeah, I want you to give me, bro, because I want you to tell me why they in the land.
But before we do that,
Okay, go ahead,
you
bro.
have to. So before we do that, because you said 75 years, right?
Yeah.
You said they've been fighting for 75 years.
Yeah.
We're in this prophecy to say, once we get in this kingdom, it's going to be a 75-year period, and then there's going to be no war. No, this is saying that in this land, where the Lord is ruling, in this land, there's going to be no war.
No war.
Hold up. If they're in, because when you deal with the kingdom, now when you deal with the kingdom, you deal with the Israelites.
Right.
The Bible talks about how the Israelites will be oppressed together. It talks about the Israelites going back over to the land. It talks about them being in Jerusalem.
Okay.
Now, if they are in Jerusalem right now,
Right.
and the Messiah, because it talks about the Messiah saving them. When you deal with the people that's over there, who saved them? Who got them over there in that land? You know about it?
Who got them over there now?
Yeah, who got them over there in that
Where
land?
they at?
Yeah, who got it?
The man got them over there when the Holocaust came. In
Who?
whatever his name was, when they took them people and they said, hey, what y'all went through over here, we're gonna move y'all here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take everything that these people in this land, that was their land, that was their land, that was their holy ground. So they went in and they said, hey, everything, hey, my man, get out. You, house, go on. You, business, go on. Everything you doing, go on.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you know about the Balfour Declaration?
What's that?
You don't know about the Balfour Declaration?
What's that?
Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We got time
Go ahead.
today.
Come on, go ahead.
We got time.
Go ahead. Come on, let's go.
I think we got time. Let's deal with it.
Because what's going on is what?
Okay, we about to talk about how they
Go
got over
ahead.
there.
How to get over
Now
there?
let's deal with it. When we deal with it, like when you deal with World War I,
Right.
you know the key figures in World War I.
What's that?
So when you deal with World War I, you was dealing with who? You was dealing with Russia, you was dealing with Britain, and you was dealing with France. They was all together.
Right.
And then you had Austria, you had Germany,
Right.
and all these other nations that was over there with them, right?
Right.
Now watch this. You ever heard of, what's his name? Benjamin Franklin.
Yep.
You heard about him, right?
Yep, go ahead.
You heard about anything he was talking about?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Oh, let's go. Go ahead.
Let's get it.
Go ahead, bro.
So this dude's supposed to be a Jew.
Right.
He was a converted Jew.
Yes,
So what
sir.
I'm saying is this, when you deal with how they got over there, first and foremost, if you know anything about the World War I, you know that Germany was winning the war.
Yeah.
They was definitely winning the war.
Right.
You know, France was assed out.
Right.
Russia was ready to go back.
Right.
Britain, you know what I'm saying? They was starving during this damn time.
Right.
But when you deal with the Zionists,
Right.
because there were Zionists that were over there in Germany at the time.
Right.
And what they did, they set up there and came to they went to the Britain war cabinet. And they came to them, they was like, hey, look, because when you deal with Britain at that time, they was dealing with they basically had control over Palestine. So they came over there, they was like, look, we'll get America involved in this war if, you know what I'm saying, you give us Palestine. And they said, you can win this war, because at that time, it was a treaty. You know, they was basically about to give up on the war. But they was like, no, you can win this war.
Spartan treaty.
Yeah, you can win this war if you if you give us Palestine, we'll get America involved. So at that time, when you deal with America, what was going on with America? When you deal with the publications doing America, like the media and stuff like
I
that.
can take a picture of you?
Yeah, take a picture, brother. Guess who controlled all that? The media.
Yeah.
Who controlled it?
Who controlled it?
The media.
Yeah.
No, who controlled the media at
Who
that
controlled
time?
the media? Who controlled the media? It was Big Britain.
No, in America, who was controlling the main media, the mainstream media?
The mainstream media.
Yeah, who was controlling all that? The publications and all that.
I don't be saying nothing.
Hey, we see you, brother.
Who was controlled?
Keep looking at that shit.
It was the people over there, it was the Jewish people. Right? They were controlling the media at
So
the time.
who control everything right now?
Same people.
Who control everything right now?
They control the same thing. That's the Jewish people.
The Jewish control everything. That's where the money comes from.
And we're not, and that's what I'm saying. But the question is that what the Bible says is going to be the case?
No.
So look.
The Jews
let me say,
already control, right?
Hold on, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Right.
The Messiah is coming back. Who do you believe the Messiah is coming back to change? To say?
He's coming back to save the people.
Who?
The people that believe.
The people that believe.
Yeah.
So, are you a Christian?
Yeah.
You're a Christian?
I'm a Christian.
You believe we gotta keep the laws of God?
You can't keep the laws of God. How can you keep the laws of God?
1 John 5 and 3.
Go
Let's
ahead.
get it. 1 John 5 and 3 NLT. Let's get it. You just spark something. I knew you was God. I'm listening to you. I'm like, he's a Christian. Okay, now it's about to heat up. Let's get it. 1 John 5 and 3 NLT. Let's get it. How can you keep the laws of God? Let me ask you a question, brother. What's stopping you from growing your beard?
Stop what you're going for. Nothing.
Well, why can't you keep that?
Why can't I keep it? Because I don't want to keep it.
Because you don't want to keep it?
My point is that I choose what
So you choose not to keep it.
I have what you call, we all have the same thing, right? We all have the right to do what it is that we want to do.
You think that we got free will?
We have free will.
Okay, we'll get on that too. Let's get this. 1 John 5 and 3 NLT.
First
You love
John,
God?
Yeah, I love God.
Okay, let's see what loving God looks like.
1 John 5:3 in the NLT. Loving God means keeping His commandments,
So hold up. Loving God means keeping His commandments. Continue.
and His commandments are not burdensome.
So it ain't hard to do. So brother, if you love God, why you not keeping His commandments?
You can't keep His commandments.
Brother, it just said it's not burdensome.
What, is that the Old Testament?
This is the New Testament.
That's the New Testament.
First and foremost, the concept of the Old Testament and New Testament. When you deal with that, you're dealing with deceivers. That's all the way back.
So the
Before all
commandments.
this, it was hold on. When you deal with the ancient manuscript, it wasn't no Old Testament, no New Testament.
What?
These were the books. These were the books that were laid out. You see what I'm saying?
So
Now,
go ahead.
what I'm asking you is this:
Go ahead.
if you love God,
Mhm.
why not keep the commandments? Because He just said it's not burdensome. It's not a hard thing to do.
What's the
Growing your,
commandments?
the laws of Moses,
What's the commandments?
keeping your beard.
Tell me the commandments.
Let's go to something.
Come on.
Go to first.
Tell me
Let's
the
get it.
commandments.
We're gonna get something. Let's get it.
What's the commandments?
We're about to get it. No, just fuck that. Get it. Go to Leviticus chapter 19. Let's get some of these commandments. Let's get some of these commandments. Because this is the thing. Like, you sit up there saying, and first and foremost, let me ask you a question. Do you sin?
Yeah, I sin.
You sin.
Yeah, you sin.
You sin?
Yeah, I sin.
Willfully?
Not willfully, but I do sin. Because I'm not perfect.
You a sinner?
Yeah, I'm a sinner.
Go to John, 1 John 3 and 3. That's perfect. That's perfect that you said that, but you said you're not perfect.
What's the sins, though?
I'm about to tell you.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I want to
perfect.
know.
We about to get it.
I want to
Go
know.
to 1 John 3.
I really want to know this here.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah.
1 John, go to 1 John 3 and 4. Perfect. 1 John.
1 John 3:4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the
So
law.
whosoever committeth sin, they transgress the law.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is the breaking. When you deal with transgression, you're dealing with breaking the law. So when you break the law, you're in sin. So if you not keeping the law, you're definitely sinning. Now let's get verse 6. You said you was a sinner,
Hold on,
right?
hold on, hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Before you say it, you said you was a sinner, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, verse 6.
Go
Let's get
ahead.
that. Let's get that.
Verse 6. Whosoever abideth in him sinneth not.
Hold up. Whosoever abiding in him, they don't sin. Let's continue.
Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him.
Whosoever sinneth, they have not seen him, nor do they even know the Most High is. How you deal with that?
So that's your question.
You got back up there, brother. It's okay. We've been good. We've been good though.
No. So that's your question, right? Alright, so you have the commandments in the law.
It's in conjunction. What's the difference?
So
What's the difference between the commandments? What's the difference between the commandments and the law?
So what's the law?
Like the law is just the legislation, but there's commandments and all that. That's all the same thing.
So what's the sins?
When you break it,
How do you know?
How do you know you
what's
break
the what is the commandments? You see, because the
no, I get
commandments.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I'm just trying to figure out how.
No. I get what you're saying. You're basically trying to sit up there and say, if there's a law and there's commandments, what's the difference? But what I'm telling you, there's no difference. It's really just the word. It's really the same thing. The law and the commandments is all the same thing. The law of God, the commandments, that's all the same thing. It's that thou shalt not. That's the commandments. But the commandments are where? In the law of Moses.
So
It's
how
no different.
So how do you know if? You see, I say I sin, right?
Yeah.
How do I know I'm sinning? How do I know if I'm sinning? Because it says thou shalt not. Like you said about my beard, right?
You keep growing your beard out, man.
All right, you know what I mean? Like I'm just
I just
trying
threw
to.
that out there.
Like I'm just trying to understand, you know what I mean? Because there's different. All right, so we are all descendants of Abraham.
Okay, good. All right. Good. Fair enough.
Jews, Christians, Muslims. So everybody's a descendant of Abraham.
Okay, what does that mean?
Everybody came from Abraham.
I mean, that's fine, but does that mean that everybody's going to, does that mean that the Bible is for everybody?
The Bible ain't for everybody.
Okay, perfect. Is it for
It
every
ain't.
nation?
It's not for every nation.
Okay, perfect. So what that got to do with anything?
Hold up, matter of fact, but yet it is for every nation
Cool.
because we are all descendants, right?
It don't matter. It ain't about us being all descendants. When you deal with it, it goes from Isaac, Jacob, and then guess who came from Jacob? The 12 tribes. That was the chosen seed. That was the chosen line. The chosen line. When you read Romans 9, it tell you that it didn't go through Esau, it went through Jacob, and it came through Jacob came the 12 tribes. That's the chosen line. So that's who this Bible is for. Now, as we were talking about sin. So you're asking me about sin. So this is the thing. This is how you not keep. You got that?
Romans 3:20.
Now listen to this.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight.
Now listen to this.
For by the law is the knowledge of sin.
By the law is the knowledge of sin. You know that you're sinning when you look at the law, when you're held up against the law. You see what I'm saying? That's how you know if you're in sin.
Well, I'm asking you a question, right?
What's your question?
What are the commandments that I should be following
That you should be following.
to
Perfect,
not sin?
perfect.
This is what I want to know, brother.
Leviticus 11:8.
Because who knows,
Leviticus
maybe I'm not sinning.
Okay, perfect. Hey, there's some things you might not be doing.
I gotta, you know what I mean?
Leviticus 11:7. Let's read that.
Leviticus 11:7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
Brought up the swine. The swine, you eat pork?
Yeah, I eat pork.
You eat pork. You know this is a sin.
Go
This
ahead.
is in the law of Moses.
Okay.
Verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat,
So we can't eat their flesh.
Okay.
and their carcass shall ye not touch.
Shouldn't even touch the damn heart.
Okay.
Like that swine on the plate, shouldn't even touch it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's one commandment right there.
Okay.
Now let's go to Leviticus 19. Go to Leviticus 19. There's some commandments, some good commandments that you can keep right now. That's in there.
Same thing that the Muslims do.
Right.
Don't eat pork.
You know they got that from us, man. And first and foremost, when you deal with their book, when you deal with the Muslims,
Uh-huh.
they say don't. They say that we can't eat pork. That's a lie.
The Quran.
No, the Quran lies about that.
Go ahead.
Because the Quran they'll sit up there and say don't eat pork, but then it also says, when your life depends on it, you can eat it in dire situation. But our Bible says that our forefathers were dying to keep it. We not about look. We don't give a damn. We'll take a death. We was about our integrity. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get it. Let's go to Leviticus 19. We'll read some more. Well, sorry, I love it. These are commandments that you can just do right now. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Leviticus 19:11.
Hey, I appreciate that you're hearing us out.
Okay.
Leviticus 19 and 11. You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
So that's a commandment. We shouldn't be stealing from each other. And this is like when you deal with this is dealing with our brothers.
Yeah.
It's dealing with your fellow Israelites, your fellow Israelite brothers, because that's who the laws of God were given to.
Okay.
It's dealing with the fellow Israelite brothers. So we shouldn't be lying to each other, we shouldn't be stealing, we shouldn't be dealing falsely. You know what I'm saying? That's something we can operate right now. I'm not about to lie to you, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Because you're my brother. Let's continue.
Verse 12. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord.
We shouldn't be profaning the name of God. You know what I'm saying?
Don't cuss his name.
Huh?
Don't cuss his name.
Yeah, don't say nothing like in vain, like profane, like destroying his name, like in vain, doing things in vain with his name and stuff like that. Do you know the name of the Most High?
Yeah.
What's the name of the Most High?
The name of the Most High?
Do you know?
That's
You better not say Jesus the name of the Most High.
no. He got many names.
You got many titles, but you got one name.
What's the name?
Yahweh. That's the ancient Paleo-Hebrew name, Yahweh. It basically means he exists.
Yahweh. Not
But
Yahweh.
they would say Yahweh. They would say Yahweh.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yahweh. That's the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. Who you call Christ, his name is Yahweh Shah.
Okay.
Basically, to say he's the deliverer. He's the savior.
Okay.
That's what it means. We're going to get some more commandments for you. Let me ask you a question. You celebrate holidays? Are you keeping it? You know we're not supposed to be celebrating pagan holidays, right?
Everything's great.
Okay, perfect.
Verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until morning.
Say you got somebody working, say you got a service and stuff like that. Like, say somebody come cut your grass. You shouldn't defraud your neighbor. Like, in other words, like, they should get their wages after they're done. You know what I'm saying? The way the white man run his system, you get a paycheck every other week. After you done work a whole day, you got no pay. That's all. You know what I'm saying? The way God says we should operate. When you give a service to one of our brothers, pay that brother back. You know what I'm saying? You give that brother his money after he's done his service. That's a way that these are just different laws of how we can operate that to better our communities.
Verse 14. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear thy God. I am the Lord.
That's self-explanatory.
Verse 15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt
Hold
not.
up. We shouldn't do no unrighteousness in judgment. So when we judge a situation, we deal with Yahweh Shah, Christ. He basically said what? Judge not according to appearance. I can't judge you according to appearance. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make righteous judgment. When you make righteous judgment, you make a righteous judgment according to appearance. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're being held to. That's the standard we're being held to. You know what I'm saying? So judge righteous. So he's telling us that, but
It's so crazy because he says you aren't supposed to judge. So people think that you ain't supposed to judge. Oh no, you can judge, but it has to be righteous. Come on, man. Listen.
Right,
And listen,
right,
I'm just because my cousin he Muslim.
oh, he must.
You know what I mean? He Muslim. You know what I mean? And me and him be,
I'm gonna give you some ammo.
you know what I mean? Me and him be going. You know what I mean? And I be like for real, like I'll be like.
I'll give you some ammo.
You know, and listen, he been Muslim for he.
I want you to ask him this. Alright, this is so let me ask you a question. Do you feel like is it wrong to beat your wife?
Is it wrong to beat your wife?
Is that a strange practice? Is that a good one?
I don't believe putting my hands on women. So not just the wife, you know what I mean? We putting my hands on women, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna read this for you. This is in the book, so I'm gonna give this to you. This is Sahih. This is book 4. Oh my bad. Yeah, this is Surah 4 and 34. It says men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend from their wealth. So it's basically just talking about how men are over women. That's what the Quran is talking about. They're over women by what they spend, all that. They're over everything.
Right.
Now what it's saying, it says, so righteous women are devoutly obedient, guarding the husband's absence, where Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance. So when a wife should be arrogant, now it's about to give you rules of things to do. This is what the Quran is saying. First, advise them. So you first should be like, hey, you going off, hey, chill out. You break her off, like, look, stop.
Right.
It says, what it say after that? It says, first advise them. It says, then if they persist, if she continues to act the way she acted, it says, you gotta get to it. I'm gonna get to it. You gotta get to it. It says, then if they persist, forsake them in bed. So if she's still acting crazy, hey, don't even have sex with her no more.
Right.
But then what it says that? It says, and finally, strike them. That's the Quran. So, hey, Surah 4 and 34. Ask him about that.
No idea.